Sure, she'll hop on stream.
You like this
What are you
girl?
talking about? Stop thinking.
I
You
thought
just idiot. Stop thinking
it was
You
straight
like
up
this
porn.
girl?
I thought it was straight for it. Chill out.
I thought it was gonna be
chill
some
out.
freaky shit too. I'm not gonna lie.
We see how you shut your mouth to tell me. We see how you shut your mouth and you waited till you switched it up. Like,
Okay, what do we watch, bro? What do we watch, Odie?
oh,
An hour.
I received the message from Syracuse.
The shortest one.
Fuck it.
I feel like
Grammarly is a must-have for students. Grammarly has this
So what?
generative AI tool that
Okay,
you
hold
have
on.
a
I need to
project-
do this right now before we start watching this, cause you do this.
bro, I do watch this shit, bro. This girl put me
Alright,
on
an
this shit, bro.
outline
No, you know what's
for-
crazy? I be watching shit like this to like go to sleep and shit.
I
3
want to
months
so bad.
ago,
Every
a
day I
very
want her. I dream of
interesting
so
question
bad.
pops up on the subreddit,
I be watching
relationship
shit like
advice.
yo, you
It's where
really
people
like
go
ABGs, huh?
to ask strangers on the internet
Yeah, this
for
is the podcast
advice
I
for
watch.
their
Selena,
relationship.
You watch this?
It's-
Yo, Zach, you're not even a real human being. You watch Talk to Her? Like,
It's a
is wrong with
29-year-old
you?
man, and he writes, I don't really have anyone else to talk to about this. This
I
was
told
the
you the
final
other day.
option.
I think
I
you
made a
did
Reddit
actually say
account.
something
I
like
was
that.
browsing through Reddit to see if anybody else had
No
any
way,
sort of
I said-
relationship trouble that was similar to mine, but I can't find anything. So I've hit rock bottom, and I'm going to write this post. I have been in a very serious relationship with my 28-year-old girlfriend for a little over a year. I'm going to refer to her as Jay. We have a lot of mutual friends, so I can't even ask a friend about this. Not that I think that they can even help me regardless.
Joe Rogan
I
martial
feel
arts
like they'll just
nigga.
see her differently and treat her differently. Anyway, my girlfriend and I have been looking into moving in together. Things have been getting really serious, and we talked about how
Yo, Odie, you and Selenia are just like my homie, Jason. You guys want you a ABG?
What are you talking about, nigga?
to
I
even
don't
split
want
the
her. I just
finances
watched
and
the
all that
podcast.
good
Why are you
adult
here?
stuff. I've been really excited about this new chapter with my girlfriend. I
baby
even started
girls.
casually looking at rings a couple of months ago because honestly, I feel like she's the one for me. She's smart, beautiful, funny, loved by nearly everyone that she meets, and just overall the best person that I've ever met. Now on to the issue. About 2 weeks ago, I started spending the weekend at her place. We usually alternate weekends at one another's apartment, and I ended up catching some stomach bug on Sunday. So I took a sick day off work on Monday, and Jay, my girlfriend, offered for me to stay at her apartment since I didn't feel good enough to drive home, and she was really sweet about it. She offered to make me soup when she got off work. I mean, she works 10 to 6. So I was mostly alone during the day, mostly sleeping and spending time in the bathroom throwing up. OP, the poster, ends up throwing up in her bathroom floor. He doesn't make it to
hell
the
yeah.
toilet. There's vomit everywhere, and he's looking for a way to clean this up,
Fuck
trying to
yeah.
find her linen closet. He finds some rags that look like you would use them to clean.
With you. Hell yeah,
On the
bro.
very top shelf, he's feeling weak, he's feeling frustrated, he doesn't have a ladder, he doesn't know where anything is. So he just kind of jumps and yanks them down, and a bunch of other stuff come falling down too, including this very small shoebox. He says, I mean, I really don't like going through her things when she's not around because we really value and respect each other's privacy. I completely trust her. But as I was cleaning up everything that fell out of the shoebox, I happened to notice something really odd, and I just couldn't help but be a little nosy. It was an envelope addressed to her, and the return address was a prison in another state. As I looked at the other stuff in the shoebox, I found way more envelopes just like it, as well as some drawings. I mean, I will admit, in a moment of weakness, I could not help myself. I had to see what was going on. This is where I feel the need to
Oh, yeah.
explain that I found it so odd because my
So what do you watch this for? Like when you're going to sleep?
Me
Or
or
yeah.
Selena?
No, you.
Like
And I guess
me,
Selenia too.
I watch this when I'm I watch this when I'm studying, like when I was doing like math and shit and like physics. I'll be watching this shit. Be watching shit. I used to watch this. I just told you my ex, bro. She put me on.
Whenever.
Like whenever we're just doing some shit, we're cleaning the house, we're just chilling, we just play it, bro.
Damn.
But I go to sleep to One Piece podcast most of the times.
Are you
When I'm
serious?
just out and about. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Podcast.
You're
Shut
actually
up.
a weird
Serious?
guy. Cause bro, you used to.
How am I weird?
I remember you used to do that shit at my
I was
house. You
at-
watched this
yo,
one
you
white
niggas
guy.
suck this
His
shit.
whole bedroom was just One Piece, and you just watch that nigga just talk about One Piece for hours.
How is that weird? He's a One Piece YouTuber, nigga. Are you fucking right?
Like, what do they talk about?
Just
About One Piece?
One Piece, nigga. They just talk about the new chapter. Okay, One Piece spoilers dropped this week. Watch this week's One Piece. Like, what is weird?
I just feel
about
like,
that?
damn, that's
that's
crazy.
normal.
Being
I feel like
devoted.
That's so normal. This nigga just wants to eat my cock. Talking about something that's weird. How is that weird?
It is weird.
It is weird.
Yo, you
Girlfriend
literally
has told
are,
me
bro.
everything about
You
her
told-
past, her family,
I'm
her
gonna-
childhood. I can name every single pet that she's ever had.
Like, homeschool
I watched
kid,
the
shut
little
up, nigga.
white
Don't tell me
girl.
I'm weird.
With the cat in the rain? Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I've met her parents, both of her siblings,
Yeah.
and
I used to watch what's it called Elden Ring lore videos to fall asleep.
quite a few of our
Oh,
other
but
family
I'm weird
members,
for watching
and not
chapter reviews of One
once.
Piece.
I
Okay.
mean, at least
Yep,
anyone
weird as
that
fuck.
she knows.
By the way, not just
Yeah.
weird.
Not once did she tell me she
Shut
knows
up, can we
anyone in
focus on this
prison,
first?
or that she's communicating with anyone in prison. So as it turns out, these letters dated way back before we even started dating, and the most recent one was from 3 months ago. Obviously, I didn't see the ones she sent because they're in the prison, but the ones she received are all very affectionate, for lack of a better term, like something long distance lovers
Millennial,
would write
you're
to each
fucking
other.
strange.
I know Jay has an
Strange
interest
as
in
fuck.
true crime. She
Nah, nigga, that was what you really said, bro. You really meant that shit. Mommy ASMR. You were asking for that shit last time too. You were saying let's listen to some mommy ASMR. You freak.
watches the documentaries, listens to the
Okay, well,
podcast, and nothing too
well,
unusual
I'm
though.
judging you.
But I
You can be
recognized the
judging too
guy's
much.
name pretty quickly, and knowing what he did and
I'm
finding out that
judging.
my
All right, say no more. Right? I'm judging, right?
Don't, bro. Just let me finish the rotten mango, please. Like I'm kind of getting trapped in the story, bro. Stop, bro. Do not put on mommy ASMR, bro. Seriously, I'm begging you.
girlfriend,
I was
who
begging.
I adore and love so deeply, actually talks to him in this way, is really
Gotta use the
fucking with my
bathroom.
head.
Well, my boots are
I don't know if
backwards. Don't
naming
take
him
this back.
violates some kind of
Okay.
rules, but let's just say his case was huge, fairly recent, like within the last 5 years. He very brutally killed his pregnant wife and 2 kids, and he even confessed, for fuck's sake. I ended up reading through about 3 or 4 of the letters until they literally made me sick. Then I put everything back just the way I found it, cleaned up the mess in the bathroom, and drove myself home. I texted her some made-up excuse that I was feeling better and I just wanted to sleep in my own bed so that I could go to work the next day. I mean, I want to talk to her about
Yo,
it,
Grass,
but I
what
just,
the fuck?
I
That
just
is
don't know.
strange.
I still love her deeply. I miss her every hour of every day, and I've been sleeping like I'm super distracted throughout the day. I'm trying to figure out how to handle this. I still love her deeply, but how do I move past this? Is there a part of this that I'm not considering? To which most netizens are responding, speculating that his girlfriend is writing to Chris Watts, who, side note, if you don't know Chris Watts, he murdered his pregnant wife and their 2 daughters, who were 3 and 4 years old. He smothered his daughters to death and then strangled his pregnant wife. His actions undeniably get worse. He dumps his daughters' bodies into oil tanks. The oil tank openings are only like 8 inches in diameter. He had to shove his children's bodies into the tanks to get them inside. They
Are you
basically
fucking
got
serious?
scalped in the process of this. Then he goes on to do a whole media tour, if you will, pleading for his missing family's safe return until it's revealed Chris Watts was having an affair and he's the one that annihilated his whole family.
This is the one that he was caught like
Hell
outside
no.
of his house.
Yes.
The viral
How's
video,
that, bro?
right?
Yes. And like side note, he does
I think I heard about this.
Bro.
No,
So if
my
niggas do
family,
shit
no.
This nigga has a nice, decent family, decent home, a big ass fucking truck with a big ass rims and shit. Bro, look at the back tire. That's double tires in the back. This big ass fucking truck, and he
got
kills
that-
family.
he got
bro.
those 4
I'm not
Giottos.
trusting- Bro, that's why I don't trust, bro. If you see me in public, bro, I'm actually a schizo. Bro, when niggas are behind me, I'm paranoid looking back. You never, like, bro, I don't trust no one of these niggas.
No,
These
you
niggas
actually,
look so
you
normal.
actually always been that way. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I known you.
I know. I have been that way. and
Mad
it's 'cause of this
paranoid.
shit, 'cause I don't
Always on
trust-
edge.
I don't trust none of these niggas, bro. Like, hell no. Told me this nigga just walking around posting on Facebook and shit. Whole time he trying to kill niggas. Like, bro, you don't just, bro. Hell no.
Oh nah.
But
You wildin' for sure. For sure. Niggas just cheat. It's not, yeah, that's actually true though. Like, nigga, just get a divorce. Like, what? Why would this nigga kill his whole family? Like, damn, nigga.
have this moment where he tries to argue that his wife killed the kids, and in return, he was so upset and distraught that he killed his wife. So if it's true that OP's girlfriend is exchanging affectionate letters with Chris Watts, I mean, most of the comments read along the lines of, it's one thing to watch true crime shows and be intrigued by aspects of how someone could possibly do something so extreme, but to write letters to someone like that? Others comment, I mean, it's one thing to be intrigued by extreme human behavior, but craving a connection with such people is alarming. Maybe it's like a surge of adrenaline for her, but in all honesty, I would personally be very worried and think twice about moving in with her. Another one just writes, no way your girlfriend is emotionally cheating on you with Chris Watts and you're thinking of staying with her, crying emoji. Any person who would ever associate with a man like that is very, very messed up. Not only is your girlfriend completely unempathetic to the pregnant wife and children that were murdered, but she's also mind-numbingly stupid to believe any sort of sob story that this murderer is spinning. But it's an interesting thought, is it not? Or more likely a fear that a lot of netizens have, because you never really know who you're dating. Others say, yeah, this is bad, but at least OP caught it early. I mean, sometimes you marry the person and then you realize too late that they're a little bit bizarre and that something bizarre is happening. Some netizens argue, if life is a competition, which it's not, but if it is, at least his girlfriend that he adores did not kill anyone. Because there are other people that wake up one morning and realize the person that they married is the killer. I mean, hypothetically speaking, what do you do if you wake up and your husband is a serial killer, your wife is a serial killer? Seattle went through this very dark period in Washington. For almost 20 years, they had an active serial killer operating in Seattle. Initially, people were terrified. I mean, the residents were terrified for 20 years, but they're also getting so fed up. Why the hell can't the police catch
Come on,
this guy?
nigga.
What's the
Why
big
is this
deal?
nigga ignoring me?
You
Pause it
passed
for a
by the
second, man.
magazine
I wasn't
stand.
ignoring you. I was doing something. My bad.
No, you weren't, nigga. I was watching your stream. Like, what?
Hmm?
You was sitting right there in your fucking big fat ass fucking seat. Now look at your Discord and open it. Just click the link. Don't even read it. Just open it as quick as possible and put it on the screen as quick as possible. Click the link. It'll open. Put it on the screen as quick as possible.
Bro, if this is some fuck shit.
Just click the link and don't read it. Just click the link instantly.
Guy allegedly takes his own life today after a video of him doing a drive-through with no pass.
Why would he do that?
That's actually so embarrassing.
What is wrong with this nigga?
Why did he drive off like that? Oh no, boy.
His smile, wiped the smile off his fucking face and drove off.
In the grocery store, all the headlines, they're so bleak.
Okay,
This is being described as one of the nastiest homicides in King County record. Bodies of young women found near Green River. What's their connection? Green River killer continues to elude massive task force. It's believed that the Green River serial killer has taken the lives of up to 71 victims.
Is this solved or unsolved?
It's solved.
Oh.
And it's scary, but at least Judith from Seattle feels some semblance of security, considering she lives with her husband, Gary. I mean, he's kind of like an old school gentleman. He pulls out the chairs for her. She doesn't even remember the last time that she opened her own car door when he's nearby. This has been her marriage for the past 13 years. Until there's a knock on the door. She opens the door, and it's a swarm of Seattle police. Gary is not who she thinks he is. Gary is the Green River killer.
Wow.
And initially, she did not believe them. In fact, for 2 years, she stands by her husband's side because how can he be a sexual sadist? That doesn't even make sense. First of all, their intimate life is very active. I mean, why? I mean, she thinks the police have the wrong guy until he confesses. That's when things slowly start clicking for her. The carpets that he was removing from the home after she had been on a trip, she thought he just wanted to fix up the place. It lines up with the time that he had killed a woman on the carpet and there were blood stains. She remembered at one point he had gotten rid of the bed frame. This is when they were first dating. He had gotten rid of it because he had brought a victim there and killed them and didn't want the blood to be left behind. She says all she could think was, was my life real with him or did he just use me? He made me smile every day. I had the perfect husband. I had the perfect life, and he was the perfect serial killer. Initially, Judith does not really have anyone to talk to about any of this. The community, they actually feel that Judith must have known to some degree. That's what they're all thinking. I mean, some of them aren't saying it because 13 years, how do you not know? This is the person that's closest to you. You sleep in the same room as them on a daily basis. A lot of people would drive by her house, take her planters, smash them onto the ground. Once, she asked a neighbor to watch her cat for her, which they graciously said, of course, we'll watch your cat. She goes back to get the cat back and they slam the door in her face. The words exchanged included something along the lines of, no, you're married to the Green River killer. You can't have your cat back.
What? Like they say yes
Seemingly intentionally to take her cat.
Wow.
It's an interesting perspective in everything that's going on, because with all these cases, you have the victims, you have the victims' families, you have the serial killer's families, the detectives, witnesses, the jury, the judge, the prosecutors, defense attorneys, media, and then the serial killer's partners. They're kind of like a forgotten piece of everything. I feel like people care more so about the serial killer's parents, the upbringing, more than they do their current lives.
Yeah, that's true.
A few weeks ago, we received an email. The title being, I was married to a serial killer for 7.5 years. I need help.
Yo, Odie, you're so strange, bro. You're such a strange fella. Rotten mango.
I'm not strange.
We
What?
would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for
The
Rotten
whippy
Mango to
slasher,
support the
that's what they call you?
the National
Bro,
Center for Missing and
Zach, don't make
Exploited
me call-
Children,
don't
as
make
well
me
as the
call Maya on
GoFundMe
your
for
ass.
Labna to help
Don't make me get Maya in this bitch.
aid in the pursuit of getting her son back. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy.
Yo, am I bugging or did this girl just get done eating some
What?
wings or something? Why is her mouth so yellow?
Or somebody. Bro, chill. I think she has some thing with her skin, like
I
her
knew
hands and stuff.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Who, me?
But she probably does though, because I feel like that's not very nice. Like it
No,
looks like
say
she
that.
actually just got done eating ass.
Advocates.
Nigga said-
As always,
I
full
knew
show
you were gonna
notes
say
are
that.
available at rottenmangopodcast.com. A few disclaimers for today's case. We could not get
Look at
No,
her
because
hands.
there probably is. She probably has some fucking.
Look at her hands, nigga.
Yeah, I know.
Stop
I
probably-
see it.
Yeah, stop being disrespectful, weirdo.
I'm sorry.
much information
Our
on the new
people
Cairo
just
serial
tell us the
killer.
fucking story.
Most sources were in Arabic, and we did have someone that speaks Arabic on the team to assist, but we couldn't do as much of a
Her eyes
thorough
look
deep
watery
dive
like
like we
sun
normally
stinks.
do, considering it felt like for this particular case, time is of the essence. The big issue here being there is a child that has been kidnapped by a serial killer's family. But as always, perhaps more so on this episode, if there's anything that you felt was mistranslated, miscommunicated, or anything additional please leave it in the comments for all of us to read. Lubna reached out to us to assist in getting her message out. However, she said she was unable to talk about the case itself or anything that could put her in legal hot water as she's still trying to get her son back. She's also stated that she's been getting death threats from the serial killer's side of the family. She still wishes
fuck?
to get her message out and find her son, but I think she's being smart and rightfully cautious about making comments towards them, about their son,
Can
the
these be
serial
real
killer,
stories,
for
Odie?
her own safety. Which brings us to
yes,
another
very
disclaimer.
real.
Nothing I say in this video is a representation of Lubna's thoughts or experiences or opinions. I've exchanged a few emails with her, but I'm not privy to any sort of private thoughts or information, so keep that in mind. And with that being said, there are mentions of domestic violence as well as SA, so please watch at your own discretion, take care of yourself, and let's get into it. How much do you really know your husband?
So that's why you be watching this shit.
I mean, it's the age-old question, right? Darcy Brudos
Oh, no.
didn't know that her husband had a thing for feet. Okay, if we're being specific, Jerry has a thing for shoes, high-heeled shoes, and women's lingerie. But their marriage is not the type of marriage where they openly talk about things like this. For Darcy's husband,
Cause,
Jerry,
bro, I've been playing Nino Payne all the time, bro.
he
That
doesn't
shit-
mention it because
that
it's
shit-
always been like this for
it's
him.
catching to you,
It's
bro.
like mentioning that I have 5 toes on my right foot. It rings true to me, and it's been like that for as long as I can remember. So
Oh, I said, that's why you be watching this shit, because it's based on true stories. Into grass, I said,
People
yeah.
watching make believe stories. Wait, what the fuck? You thought
I
we
don't
were
know. I
watching
thought
fake shit?
no, because you know what I would be watching sometimes. I could show you. I'll be watching this nigga, which is like, you don't even know if the stories are true or not. Like they're just stories, because I feel like they're just interesting. Let me show you.
Primitive as shit.
With
You just
TD
went to-
Insurance, your
you look
accident
at
claim is handled at their auto centers. So if you were expecting this,
Hey, we got
You guys never watched this shit before? Shit like this,
No, what the fuck is this?
like Reddit stories or like shit. Like
No, this isn't Reddit stories, bro. This is like
no, these are Reddit stories.
actual case shit.
4chan
I
stories.
know these are, but when I watch, are like, okay, so you watch 4chan stories, but you try to call me weird for listening to Rotten real murders, actual murder. Can you go back to the video, please? Like, we're almost halfway done, man.
No, it's just showing niggas.
Please.
That's what I be watching.
So maybe I wouldn't consider it a big thing to announce to my husband, hey, I have 5 toes on my right foot. Jerry's fascination with high-heeled stilettos is like that. It starts at a really young age. But he blames his family friend. She had fallen asleep at the Jerry Burdos home, the family home. He sneaks in there and sees that she's wearing these high-heeled shoes. And something about the way that her foot arches, the way that her toes are just cramped into those stilettos, it unlocks something in him. He tries to slowly creep up on her and grab the heel of one stiletto and slowly peel it off so that he can steal it while she's asleep. Unsurprisingly, she wakes up. His plan goes down the drain, but it awakens something inside of him. Instead of stopping, he goes and he hides in his first grade teacher's desk to steal her high-heeled shoes. He fails. But naturally, none of this is mentioned to his wife, Darcy. He also fails to mention how at a young age, in middle school, he would go and steal undergarments from his friend's sisters. He had a thing for sniffing their undies, but that eventually escalates to him putting them on. He would steal them and then model them on himself. Or when Jerry turned 16, he had this lightning bolt strike of creative problem solving. He masterminds this whole plan. He would lure women to his home, trick them typically. When he was alone with them, he would give them a full tour of his bedroom before excusing himself. Let me just grab a water. Let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. But when he comes back into the room, he's changed into a new set of clothes. He's wearing a mask, holding a knife and a camera. He forces the women to strip down while he takes pictures, all whilst threatening to take their lives if they don't comply. Then when he gets the pictures he wants, he leaves. He takes off the masks, ruffles his hair, changes back into the first pair of clothes he invited the victim over with, runs back into the room. The craziest thing just happened. There was a masked, knife-wielding man that had just broken into the house, tied me up so that they could get pictures of you or something. They left.
That's
How the fuck?
crazy.
I fought them off and
How
they
the
left.
fuck would that work?
And it
How would that
worked?
work?
Yeah, I think sometimes it worked. Other times the girls were just too scared to say anything. Sometimes laziness would get the best of Jerry. He would eventually ditch the mask. Home intruder ruse out the window. And then he would just part his hair differently. He would part his hair, walk into the room and be like, I'm Jerry's non-existent brother, Ed. And you better strip down and I'm going to take pictures of you or else. He would even start fondling the victims.
What?
Perhaps it's the sheer confidence in how he does it. Some of the victims truly believed that they were essayed not by Jerry, but by his brother Ed. Keep in mind, this is all
What the
happening
fuck?
while he's in high school. It only gets worse as he grows up. He begins stalking women, and at first, he would just stalk them to strangle them, to steal their shoes, their stilettos. I mean, the shoes didn't even necessarily have to be on someone. It could be him. He would wear them. In another arrest, he's found in a college dorm wearing jean shorts, women's underwear, and high heels. And then it stops. He marries his wife, Darcy, and he thinks, the past is the past. I'm not even interested in that stuff anymore. I love Darcy. Darcy's my wife, okay? They're going to be in love. They're going to have kids, which they do. They do have kids, but they're no longer in love. Not that it matters, considering Jerry Burdos is a serial killer. So with his wife in the same house as Jerry, he would go back to his teenage ways of inviting people into the house, luring them, but now he's killing them. He's strangling them until they're unconscious, essaying their bodies. He's spending sometimes multiple business days to perform acts of necrophilia on the corpses. His favorite thing to do was, remember how he stole underwear and shoes?
This nigga's freaky
He
as
had
well.
closets. He had so much stolen stilettos and underwear. His favorite pastime was to dress the victims' bodies in those stolen items and then take pictures like they're his personal dolls solely existing to model his garments. He would obsessively dress and redress the victims over and over and over again. And unfortunately, Jerry was a big souvenir guy. The first victim, he sawed off her foot and kept it in their family freezer in the basement.
Oh my fucking goodness.
And he would take it out anytime he wanted a foot model. His second victim, he cut off her breasts to keep as souvenirs, but even after he cut off their breasts, he still wanted to play dress up with the corpses. So he would stick paper towels where the breasts used to be and put a bra on to take pictures for his collection. Another victim, he kept her corpse in the garage after essaying and killing her. He had her hanging in the garage on a pulley system so that he could dress her in different outfits and shoes. He would even try to electrocute her to get her to, quote, dance and look alive. which brings many to the question of how much did Darcy, his wife, actually know about what Jerry was doing? Most of his murders were committed inside the house. She did not go on lengthy business trips or trips with her children while he was killing. So did she hear nothing, see nothing, sense nothing? On one occasion, he even had dinner with his wife and kids while the victim was tied up alive in the basement. The police firmly believe that Darcy knew something. So they arrest her. They bring her in, interrogate her as an accomplice. And they're confronting her. You're telling us that you saw this chopped off breast laying around in the house. And you thought, I thought it was a paperweight.
What?
That you get from like one of those sick antique stores, I guess, because it was encased in resin.
The fuck?
He didn't just have like a flesh
my
breast. He
gosh.
had put it into resin to mold it.
Wow.
I mean, it's almost unbelievable,
This nigga is strange,
right?
bro.
Except that it's true. Darcy had no clue.
So,
She had been
Odie.
forbidden from entering the garage, basement, and freezer. After Jerry's arrest, he tried to ask Darcy to get rid of evidence, and she refused. She truly was oblivious to all the signs, like many wives of serial killers.
This is just another
really, though?
serial killer?
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way, bro. She's faking that shit, bro.
She really? Was she
She's-
really?
she's faking
like,
that
obviously, yeah. I feel like her not taking the stuff out after he's already been arrested doesn't
Obviously,
prove that she
yeah.
didn't know.
Obviously, you're gonna
Because
do
she's
that.
like, oh no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting caught up. That's what it would be.
there's no way she didn't know, bro. What? This is too crazy. Like, what, bro? Bro, a breast? You talking about some resin? Like, bro, this dude went from in first grade doing freaky weird shit in high school, doing insane shit. There's no way he wasn't like couldn't tell he was on some weird shit.
That nigga was
He was
on
probably
retarded
on
shit.
weed on first grade.
Oh my god. Okay, let me just mute this nigga.
From the
You're
Green
ruining my
River
reaction
one?
trying to post.
Yeah. A lot of
Weed.
them have wives
They're
that
reacting
had
to
no
this?
clue.
Yeah.
Wow.
W.
And they never kill their wives because, some people argue maybe there's some sort of
Bro,
emotional attachment.
Are you gonna open another page and post it? Like what I was doing on whatever.
I already have another page, but play the video, big bro.
Really, big bruh? Why don't you tell me, big bruh?
Play
And
it.
it's definitely
Play it.
more of a
I'm not trying to edit this
disguise.
shit, nigga.
I don't think that there's
You don't
any
have to
serial
edit
killer
it, you're
that
talking to me.
truly
Just
cared
post the
much
VOD.
for their family
Or like the
members.
part where we watched this shit.
I don't think that they have the capability
Who's
to
that? What,
do that.
who's that nigga again?
Yeah.
Jeff.
For-
That's Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Darcy Brudos,
No,
the
that is
signs were
not Ted
objectively a
Bundy,
bit more
bud.
obvious. But
Ted
what
Bundy, my
about
fault.
the
Ted
new
Bundy.
Cairo serial killer? The guy that they call the butcher of
BTK?
Egypt?
Buddy thinks
What are
he's
the
4
signs
feet-
there?
This is
Four pockets.
the wife who reached out,
Yes.
Yo,
3 bodies, all dumped on this stretch of desert land in Egypt. The Egyptian authorities have a problem. They've got 3 bodies. I mean, they're clearly connected. All 3 women have been murdered. They've been dumped
Touch
along
it,
the
touch
desert
it.
road. There's evidence that they've been whipped pretty badly. Their necks are all broken, potentially strangulation. There are clear signs of torture wounds. There's and other drugs in each woman's system. I mean, it's pretty much undeniable that they're linked. But other than the same torture wounds, there is nothing else that can help the investigators.
She said
All
meth.
3 women live in different areas. They don't know each other. They range in age between 19 to 37. What is the connection between these 3 women? Once the bodies are located, news starts spreading. There's a serial killer active in Egypt. Some are calling him the butcher. There's only been about 4 well-known serial killers from Egypt, and the police have no leads until a father walks into the station. My daughter, she's missing. Okay, when was the last time you saw her? She told me she was going to study English with
Like,
the
what are these
professor.
niggas on?
An English professor, I think. His name is Kareem. He's a famous TikToker.
So this is all happening very recently?
2024,
He's a
early
famous
2024.
TikToker and he's a university professor.
Yeah.
The fuck, boy?
Kareem's TikTok account was called Hooked on Phonics. It has since been suspended, but Kareem, the police are now investigating, is an English teacher living in Egypt, and his whole TikTok account is to try and teach non-native English speakers English. He would have a harder to pronounce English word on the screen for non-native speakers.
How do you say this word? Exquisite.
Exquisite.
It means very pretty. And this one? Ecstatic.
Ecstatic.
Or you know how sometimes when you learn English in a non-English speaking country, you learn phrases that most native speakers won't use? Like when someone asks you, how are you? The response that a lot of non-native speakers learn is, I'm fine, thank you, and you? But that's rarely ever heard in natural conversations. So he would make these little TikToks saying things like, don't say, I'm sorry. Say, I apologize. which I'm not sure what the difference is. He would also do these TikToks with his cute son, who's about 9 years old, named Zane, where
made
they
his
would
son cosplay as him. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? You gonna dress your son up like that exactly how you dress?
That's not me. That's how people in Egypt dress, bro. They wear like soccer clothes and shit.
Yeah, I said if you had a kid, you're just gonna make that nigga just cos. Yeah, son is glazing crazy on God. Nigga said I want to be just like daddy. Like, nigga,
go
take that
over
shit
all
off.
the ways in which you can merge words
Pause.
in English. Instead of saying give me, you say, and the little son would say give me that. Instead of saying want to, you say I wanna go home.
Like the son is in the video. You can see him.
Yes.
Okay.
Got to.
Gotta. I gotta go.
Out of.
Outa. I'm out of time.
In another TikTok, Kareem, the now suspect, does a little skit. How do I tell a woman you're so
That's kind of cute.
beautiful? He's like in a
That's how you
nerdy
start
outfit, and
discombobulating
he's asking
women.
a cool guy, who is also him, cosplaying as the cool guy. How do I tell a woman you're so beautiful? You're like a dream come true. Your beauty is like a priceless masterpiece.
Who says some shit like that?
I'm sorry, you're breathtakingly gorgeous. I'm out of breath.
Yo,
You're beautiful, gorgelicious.
L
You look
fucking
absolutely
Riz.
fantastic. In another one, he says, don't
Yo,
say I'm
Zach, that is some
tired.
shit you'd
It's
say, bro.
boring.
That is some shit you'd
Instead,
say.
use these slang terms instead. Exhaustipated.
What is wrong with niggas?
I've never heard that. Fatigue. Pooped.
I have.
Tie-tie. Bed deprived. ZZZ-ish. Naptastic. Zonked.
ZZZ-ish.
Chica boom
Okay,
bed.
stop.
Niggas just making up his own fucking language. What is he saying?
Again,
I'm
I don't
feeling
know where he's getting any
naptastic.
of these. Then he has this moment
Like what?
where his inflection goes
Naptastic?
down and he
What does
says,
that mean?
Dead. Beat. Wrecked.
How many followers does he have?
660,000.
Damn.
Wow.
His account has some odd moments like that one, but I would hardly call it odd. I mean, there's nothing alarming or damning on his social media accounts. A lot of people are reposting some old videos with some creepy music, but it's more so hindsight. There's nothing in his videos inherently that's alarming. It's just him teaching questionable slang that I've never heard most English speakers use.
Is he here in the US or he's in Egypt?
He's in Egypt, but he was briefly in the US. He grew up in
What's up, affiliate marketers? How you doing?
Bro.
This
Oh
is
my
Michael
God.
Bashi here. Now,
This
You're
creepy
gonna
ass
scream
nigga.
broadcasting?
Listen,
Michael bashing.
the US.
Fuck.
I believe he might hold US citizenship.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
The police need to find out more about this guy, Kareem, to see if he really is the butcher. Because again, his TikTok presence doesn't really tell them anything. Kareem taught English at a local school, to which some sources say
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga's face? Yo, am I bugging or
He
does this
looks
nigga
mad
not,
cute.
not look crazy, huh?
He looks mad cute. Get off his dick.
He looked like he wore makeup that day. What the fuck?
Okay. And
that
he
the
looks mad
coworkers
cute.
who knew him
Niggas bad as
knew him
shit.
as the rose
He's an
guy,
anamorph.
the flower, which sounds like a good thing. He would randomly show up to work
Bro,
with
you
a
said that nigga
singular
looks mad
rose,
cute?
hand it
Yeah,
to a
you love
coworker. His male or female colleagues,
Okay.
it didn't matter, which again kind of sounds inherently sweet if it's not creepy and not HR
worry,
worthy,
there's
like
nothing wrong with
reporting
that in
worthy,
the
but
Big 25.
the rose usually
It's just
comes
You don't
as a
have to
form
talk
of an apology.
Move on.
If these incidents are true, his coworkers likely hated seeing the damn roses. It's alleged that he would blow up on coworkers over nothing. Truly, it felt like if you looked at the guy strange or you said something that irked him for reasons unknown to you, he would just blow up. And the very next day, he would bring you a singular rose presented to he verbally assaulted the day before, and they would be forced to forgive him or they would be seen as the difficult one at work. If these personal accounts are true, it appears Kareem has a whiplash-inducing personality. Some that knew Kareem personally said he's incredibly helpful, to the point that one could call him a generous, elegant man. But you know when someone is too nice to you? But it doesn't feel like genuine.
Yeah.
There's this second layer of ick that hits you, but you can't explain it in correct words. I don't know why, because you just sound like an ungrateful person. No, yeah, they were so nice to me. Of course, they helped me move, and
This bit
but
looks
it just
strange.
feels like
So
they're
is that-
not doing it with good intentions. But then who are you to complain? Because they've helped you. A lot of people said that Kareem appeared to like helping people because that automatically puts him at the top position, the one that is helping and not the one being helped. They say he was born to this financially secure family with a seemingly unsufferable air of superiority to them. It seems like he has this complicated chip on his shoulder, considering he wants to be known as successful, but he wants to be successful on his own. But the reality is, the only thing that makes him successful and special is the fact that his parents are financially okay. Everyone knows that his success depends on his dad, and he knew that everybody knows that. Side note, it's been said by people close to him that he genuinely does not care about his dad, not even in the slightest. He uses his dad like a bank. He calls his dad, "Dad, I need a new iPhone." Magically, a new iPhone would appear, and by this point, this man is 37 years old. Could he really be a serial killer? This little daddy's boy, the butcher of Egypt? It doesn't even sound similar. The authorities track his car, his whereabouts, and interestingly enough, his car shows up at the spots where the bodies are dumped. So it's time to give this guy a visit. The Fifth Settlement is one of the most well-known wealthy areas in Cairo. The detectives are staring at each other. Are you sure this is the right place? Like, this is where Karim lives? They speak with the landlord, and there are signs. Like what? Okay,
Imagine how the
he
serial
was
killer
adamant
bit on YouTube
that he
frying
needed
and
a
shit.
fully soundproofed
Nigga, I'm
and
taking it
cased
down for
room. He said that
defamation.
he was always creating music, I don't know, recording social media
She's a-
videos,
she's
that
an
out of
idiot.
respect for
She's
his
not
neighbors and for
anyone
his
who's
son
not.
that lives with him, he needs a room that you can't hear out of once you go inside. He would like crisp, pure audio for his videos. That's what he said. When authorities get upstairs to the unit, they find the soundproof room, but they also find various drugs and what has been described by many sources as instruments of torture. They try to arrest Karim, who tries to miserably fail at making a run for it. They chase him down, they arrest him, and immediately states he has no idea what the police are talking about because he's in.
This nigga is a shapeshifter, bro. He looks different in every fucking photo of this nigga, bro. Like, what the fuck?
He's sick. He's mentally unwell. He cannot be held liable for his actions. He doesn't even know what they're referring to.
So this whole case happened because they found 3 bodies
Yes.
on the side of the road. And did 3 of them all die around the same time?
Yes, relatively.
Okay.
It was
so
like pretty back to back, that there was some sort of connection.
back to back?
It was, the cool off period, if you will, for the serial killer was very low.
And then he just left them in public, just like that.
Like on stretches of desert land.
Oh, I see.
Also found in his apartment were deleted but recovered videos from his phone and laptop that show him murdering the 3 victims.
my
Videos
God.
of him drugging, essaying, and torturing the victims, not unlike Jerry Brudos. Eventually, he tells the authorities what happened. He would lure the women to his apartment, drug them with meth and other drugs. At one point, it seems like he's trying to get brownie points for the fact that he fed them narcotics, which would help with the pain that he was inflicting on them.
I don't understand it. Like,
They were all high, guys. I'm not that bad of a person.
like, how could you? How could? I don't understand how
wouldn't
someone
just cut someone's
could
throat
derive
while they could feel it.
pleasure from doing things like this to people. I don't understand. I actually don't get it.
He's like, you know what?
I know how.
I am inflicting a lot of pain.
How, bro?
You know how you enjoy seeing people get mad sometimes, like if you're a rage bait or shit like that.
No,
It's the same
bruh.
thing.
No,
It is,
bruh.
it is. Bro, humans are not that.
Where is this
Let me
nigga
finish
going
talking,
with
nigga.
this, bro?
Let me finish fucking talking. Let me finish talking, bro. Humans are not that different, bro. Humans are not that different. Niggas who enjoy seeing people's misfortune, it just gets more extreme. That is it. That's where it stems from.
These
It literally
niggas
is what
gotta
it
be
is.
sexual.
I'm not saying just because you like to make your friends mad that you're a serial killer, but it's just like the same thing, bro. Like humans aren't that complex. It's not that crazy to me. Yeah, of course I could see a nigga chopping off niggas' limbs and doing weird shit, bro. There's billions of humans, bro. Some niggas, there's 8 billion humans on the earth right now, where we don't all have the same genetics. Some people are gonna have our genetics just to the fucking extreme. Some niggas enjoy having sex and they like having vanilla sex. Some niggas take that vanilla sex, put a little twang on it. Some niggas need more than a little twang on it. They must do some crazy shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Everything's a spectrum, bro.
Bro, I know that, bro. I know that, obviously, but this nigga is still weird as shit. He's still weird as shit.
Of course he's weird as shit, but hey, buddy. Shit, nigga.
Buddy said a little bit of twang on it.
That's
Yo, drugging niggas and then touching them up and then killing them and taking flicks is more than a little bit of twang.
So it should decrease the pain that they felt. Sometimes he would even engage in watching sexually sadistic videos while his victims were in his home, incapacitated. Then he would begin his torture. He would start out first by assaulting them, whipping them, pulling their hair, then slowly...
Yo, did she just say this nigga would goon before he assaulted his victims? What the fuck?
Transitioning into ripping out their nails. He keeps the process slow, painful. Sometimes the victims would be at his apartment for 18 days at a time. It's unclear how many of those days were them consensually believing that they're spending time with a friend versus how many of those days are them actively being tortured and killed. It appears that he likes to relish in the pain that women feel. When he thinks he's done, he slowly strangles them to death, usually with a rope or an iron chain. But even then, he will continue engaging in sexual acts with their corpses.
That is crazy. I mean, how do you just coming out like this?
Yeah.
Must be
Who's this cocky boy
of
behind the
red flags
camera, though? I'm
before
not gonna
this.
lie. He's kind
A
of
lot. By this point, the body is completely disfigured.
crazy.
He takes the body to the desert and disposes of them. And a total of 3 bodies were found in the desert, but Kareem admits there could be at least 6 or more victims. Like at least 6 total victims or more. Unfortunately, most people believe it's a lot more than that. Neighbors said that there were lots of girls going in and out of the house. Alarmingly, sometimes they would even hear screams, but they would stop mid-scream. So it sounded like a scream, but maybe you're goofing around. Maybe you see a bug, you scream, but you don't keep screaming. You don't scream, help me. You just scream once in shock. When Kareem is arrested, the police take into custody his 9-year-old son, Zayn, who was living with him. They need to find the next person that would have custody over Zayn because Kareem can't take care of him. Kareem is going to face the death penalty.
That's crazy. So the son was living in the same house?
Yes.
Wow.
They ask Kareem, where is your son's mother? He responds, she's dead. December 13th, 2024, a TikTok goes viral of a woman named Lubna. It's her wearing a blue hoodie, sitting in front of her camera, and she looks very serious. She starts off,
so I was married to a serial killer for 7.5 years. All my videos have been in Arabic to reach the Arabic community. So basically the serial killer, he tried to kill me many times. He tried to kill my sister many times. And then he got caught with 3 bodies in his apartment in a torture chamber. And he's very known in Egypt and the Arab world. And this was recent. This was like 7 months ago. So he had kidnapped my son from me 3 years ago. And anytime I tried to get him, he would basically try to kill me and try to ruin my life and try to find me. Like, I'd be at places and he'd just show up and I'd have to run. And it was just a flipping nightmare.
Fuck?
How is she just casually talking about this? Like, why did you not report this nigga to the fucking police? Like, what is she, like, she didn't report this shit, but then she comes on TikTok to tell the fucking story.
Chill. He had her son. Like, bro, I'm gonna call the police just so this thing can
You
slip
would
my son
still
through
call the
fucking
police,
fucking-
though. Like, you still should call the police. Like,
Bro, what are you talking about?
So
This nigga's
finally,
killed.
when he got caught this May,
You're not just
end of May, they locked him up.
Tito's
He's
pretty
gonna get hung.
how am I dumb, bro? Obviously, if you told the police, they'd know how to proceed with that situation.
I didn't say you were dumb. I didn't say you
No,
were dumb.
Lazy
but
said that. I'm talking to Lazy.
Tito's pretty dumb.
I'm talking to Lazy.
Sorry,
That
maybe.
nigga just be rage baiting.
But I also
Anyways.
don't think she waited, bro. She probably just didn't
She
know.
waited for 3 hoes to get their nipples cut off before posting on TikTok for 3 likes.
She probably didn't even know. No, realistically, she probably didn't even know. She just all she knew at the time was
Yo,
what
Zach.
she did. Yeah.
I know, bro. I
Realistically,
know,
like,
bro.
there's no way she like watched people get killed.
She waited for 3 hoes to get their nipples cut off before posting on TikTok.
Very soon, hopefully. But the problem is, whenever he got locked up,
Oh,
he
she
told
said,
the
"Let me make my
police
money off
that
this, though."
I was dead. So his mom took
my
my son,
God.
and till now it's been 7 months. I haven't seen my son. Haven't heard from my son. She's kidnapped him. I filed all police papers, all court papers.
Hello?
I have full custody.
Yeah, what's up?
I have educational custody. I have every single right. I just could not find this woman.
the serial killer's mom, Zayn's grandma.
So I just need the English world
God,
to
that's
hear
one
my
of them
story,
memes.
because very soon I'm going to be on a big channel, like something very big that we all have in our house, and you're going to hear my story. But I really hope before that happens I get my son back, which
Why does she
I'm
sound kinda
dying,
British?
honestly. I'm like dying to see him.
She's
I'm dying to
Australian.
talk to
She's
him again.
beautiful.
I just need
she's
as much
Australian?
exposure as
Around,
possible.
bro.
And
Nah, she is
this
She's
lady
like
might be in
Irish,
America,
bro.
she might
She
be
is
still in
pretty.
Egypt.
She sounds, yeah, she has like a weird, like, I
Who
don't know what
knows?
that is.
Who knows? I need to find her, and I need everyone's help as much as possible. If you go to my older videos, you'll find pictures of my son. I have put pictures of her there. So if you want to take a look, and if anyone can help me, if any media sources can help me to get my story out there, to help me find my son that I have full rights to, please help me.
This is Kareem Salim's wife, and she is not dead. She had to flee Egypt for her own safety, and now she can't get her son back. Lubna says that she found out through the internet that her ex-husband, the father of her child, that had her child, had been arrested in Egypt for being a serial killer. She says in an interview in Egypt, she says, "I couldn't believe it. The first thing she did was call her attorney and just kept asking, is it true? Is it true?" I mean, for a second, she thought it was fake so that she would have to fly to Egypt.
Yo, are you jacking that or no? Like, what are we thinking here?
I already said what I said, bro.
Egypt. It wouldn't be the first time. After she fled Egypt, fearing for her own safety, he would try to lure her back into the country.
She is valid. I'm not gonna lie, she's valid.
Wow.
All these like fake methods. So her sisters live in Egypt. He would call them and say, "Your sister Lubna is dead. You need to come to the morgue to ID her body." And when they came, it's likely that he was, I don't know, these are just allegations and speculations that I personally and a lot of netizens have. He would likely hold the sisters captive to make Lubna come to Egypt.
Did she go?
No. She hasn't been back in Egypt, I don't think, for a while. I mean, she is now, but...
Oh, she is in Egypt right now.
She's searching for her son.
Okay.
But if this is true, that he's a serial killer, Lubna says it was jarring. And again, this is speculation. I'm sure part of her felt guilty because perhaps she could have done something to prevent it. But she always felt like she was under the assumption that he just wanted to kill her, which makes sense when you're in a very abusive relationship with someone who's violent. You don't necessarily think that they're a serial killer.
Yeah.
You think that they want to kill you because you're in this relationship with them, right? She did not know that he was out to kill people. Otherwise, she probably would have done something.
Yeah.
She said, "I thought I was the only one he tried to kill." At this point, Lubna just knows that she doesn't have her son, Zayn. Kareem's mother, Zayn's grandmother, has him and she wants him back. She packs all of her clothes. She had fled to the UK at this point because she's a UK citizen. She's a UK national. She grabs all her clothes, leaves everything else, gets on the first flight to Egypt. But the minute she gets there, she reaches out to Kareem's mom, who has her son, and she blocks Lubna. Does not accept her calls, nothing. The message is clear. You're not getting your son back.
Wow.
To Lubna, Kareem was a very normal person when they first started dating. Like the first few years of marriage, he's very normal, very polite, well-mannered. If not even charismatic.
I told you, bro.
It's not until they have their son, Zayn, things improve. Zayn is Lubna's whole world. Because, you know, when you become a mom, you care about your kids a lot, and maybe more than anything else in the world. But Kareem does not like that. He starts getting jealous that Lubna is putting Zayn first. Anytime he felt their literal baby's needs were put before his own, which would be all the time and should be all the time, he would blow up on Lubna, getting incredibly aggressive and upset. He became this controlling menace. According to one source that we had translated, he apparently was even in a TikTok where he was promoting an app that helps track your family's location. But the messaging is more so, keep your wife and children safe, which in hindsight is very alarming. Regardless, the relationship just deteriorates from there. He accuses Lubna of cheating on him nonstop. Meanwhile, Lubna literally finds videos of him cheating on her. He would record videos of himself having intimate relations with other women while married with a child. But anytime she would confront him about it, he would beat her, strangle her until she's passed out on the floor, and then he would sob and weep that he was sorry. I think it probably doesn't help that Lubna and Kareem would move around a lot. At some points they were in Egypt. At some
nigga strangled that bitch and said, "Damn, sorry. I didn't mean it. It wasn't me." Like, what, bro? Nigga said type shit. Nah, Zach, you're fucking strange. Oh,
I'm like, what do you mean type shit, bro?
Like, what? Yo, do I need to, like, call someone for mine? Like, what? This nigga said type shit.
Points they were in Michigan in the United States, then back to Egypt. It's harder to leave an abusive relationship when you're not in the most familiar territory with a strong support system. One might assume that Lubna also stayed because Kareem's family was financially secure. You know, perhaps it's hard for her to find that stability anywhere else. But that's not true either. Kareem was astonishingly lazy. He refused to work. Lubna was the one making most of the money, paying for their things and taking care of their kids. She says, he tried to kill me several times. He tried to kill my siblings too. All of them are younger than me. This proceeds for about 6 years. Lubna keeps trying to leave Kareem, and he keeps coming back and beating her. And I'm sure it's made much more complicated by the fact that they share a child. Eventually, she decides she's going to leave him. She's going to take Zayn with her, put her foot down, and conveniently, Kareem is like, can I just have a play date with my son? I miss him so much. Just for a few hours, take him out to dinner. Lubna agrees, but that would be the last time she sees her son, Zayn. That was 3 years ago. So from what we can piece together from our sources, as a way to make sure that Lubna go.
What?
Are they trying to tell us that this kid is dead? That's not what they're trying to tell us.
No, bro. She's saying before
they
he kidnapped
him,
her.
bro.
Kidnapped him.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm gonna keep playing it.
So from what we can piece together from our sources, as a way to make sure that Lubna cannot come back for her son, Kareem files for divorce and accuses her of adultery, stating that he caught her with his own 2 eyes sleeping with his best friend, which I doubt, but regardless, adultery is punishable by law in Egypt, whereas domestic violence was not.
Wow.
So she's facing that, in addition to Kareem waiting outside her place of residence for 4 days straight, threatening to kill her. She had to put on a disguise to leave everything and flee Egypt 3 years ago. And that's why she has attorneys, because for the past 3 years, she's trying to get her son back. She's trying not to get killed, because if she gets killed, then her son is forever going to be with Kareem, right? She's just trying to get her son back. She's a British citizen. She's hiring attorneys, spending every cent that she makes.
She had a British fucking twang on it.
On her attorneys, trying to figure out what to do, how to do this. But now that Kareem's been arrested for being a serial killer, she still can't get her son back. He has been quote unquote given to Kareem's mother, and she refuses to let Lubna see her son, let alone she doesn't even know where they are. Lubna believes they might be in Egypt or maybe in Michigan. Now, if you're wondering why Michigan, Kareem used to live there when he was younger. He does have a U.S. citizenship. I don't know if he gave it up for an Egyptian citizenship or if it's dual, but he essayed a girl in Michigan. He does have a criminal record in the United States. He was arrested, and afterwards he moved to Egypt to, I guess, have a clean start, because that's on his record. He can't really get a job in the U.S. That's why after they had kids, after they had Zayn, they were in the U.S. for a while. He couldn't work. So she's working. At this point, the authorities have found 3 bodies, but it's believed that there are at least 6 victims, at the very least, potentially more. The defense argument lied on Kareem being out of his mind. His lawyer argued that Kareem did not intend to commit premeditated murder. The victims went to him on their own free will. And in fact, if anything, they were benefiting from him. You know, Kareem was spending lavishly on them. That's what the attorney is alleging, which...
How is that?
What?
That doesn't even make sense. It's okay because Nick was spending some money on him, so he could just kill him.
Related to a murder, like.
Yeah, if someone buys you a Gucci belt, can you just kill them? I don't understand this defense. It's mind-boggling. But he continues. We are facing a strange case that we need to study. My client is a mentally ill person that feels remorse after committing those crimes and should be referred to a medical hospital with a committee of psychiatrists rather than being executed, which the judge clearly did not entertain. Kareem Salim was sentenced to death, to be hanged.
Oh shit!
And now Lubna is desperately looking for her son. She reaches out every single day to her son and grandmother. Someone is reading the messages because it says read, but she doesn't know who. She messages her son before she goes to sleep. She doesn't go to sleep much or wake up without thinking about how to get her son back. Her message for her son is, Zayn, I'm never going to stop looking for you until the day that I die.
Nah, his mom's some fine shit, though. I'm not even going to lie to you, though. Like, let me help her.
Lucky boy.
Let me help her find her.
I mean,
what? Yo, you're weird.
What does twerp say?
Nigga said lucky boy. Nigga said lucky boy. Nigga said lucky boy.
Bro, keep playing the shit.
Nah, but like, let me help his mom out, though. Like, let me help her. Like, I can help her find her son, though. Like. Bro, that's on God. Yo, Odie, if you want this, find Zayn, bro. She will literally be yours.
Die until my very last breath. She says, I used to know what his favorite food was.
Get her
I
son
don't know
back?
if it's changed. I don't know if he's taller than me now.
Nigga,
I
into
don't know what
what,
he
bruh?
looks like
Selena,
other
what
than
am I
from the
finna go
videos and
into?
pictures that were posted on
Her
Kareem's
fucking nose
TikTok.
piercing?
I don't know what his voice sounds like anymore. I
Where
can't
your
see my
son
son. I
at?
can't talk to him. I
Focus,
don't know
please, focus.
what he loves, what he hates now, how he's growing up. I don't know how he lives his life. I don't know if he goes to school, if he likes school, what subjects he likes.
dead,
I don't know
bro.
anything.
Just take it.
Because also you have to think from 6 to 9, it's a huge developmental period where a lot of things change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her last memory was about a week before she last saw her son. Zayn asked to purchase a bunch of balloons at the store, and the two of them walked around the shopping center and he would give out balloons to strangers. And she thought it was so fascinating. That's who her son is. He's the type to open doors for strangers for her. And for right now, Lubna's life is on hold. That's kind of how she explains it. She doesn't feel good. She just wants her son back. She's lost about 40 pounds in the past few months, but she's not going to give up.
Shit.
She says when they reunite, she's going to take him to the beach because that's our thing. We love the beach. In one interview in Arabic, she says,
Well,
someone please help me.
ain't
Someone
getting that
stand
nigga
up with
back.
me. Come with me, please. I finally reached the end. I may look okay and be talking on the outside, but
keep
on
it
the
a bean.
inside, I'm broken.
Oh, she needs
So
you,
most
bro.
netizens are
Odie, she
just
needs
trying
you,
to get the
gang.
word out right now to figure
You
out
could save her.
how to get Lubna back. And this will be, one of the
Save the
rare
soul, Freddy.
times that
Freddy.
Yo, Odie, we're software engineers, bro. You telling me we can't find Zane? Like, be so serious.
Bro,
You could find
look
that
at the
nigga.
video.
we show a
Odie's
child's
good.
face that
This
is
nigga's actually immersed.
not super, I guess, certain cases you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the child's face, like John Benet Ramsey. It's hard to not see her face anywhere when you talk about her, but for this case, if you see him, please reach out to authorities. That's what Lubna says. Reach out to Lubna because legally she has custody. So if that child is with anybody else, that is against the law.
He's either in America or in Egypt.
Yes.
In America, there's Michigan. But in America, he should be in school.
Yes, she has educational custody, and that's a point that she brings up. Nobody can enroll him in school without her because she has educational
You
custody.
might not be going to school?
She
No way.
is worried that he's missing out on
No
school,
school, bro.
Yeah.
right now
Bro's
too
lucky.
because it's a
God.
developmental
Type shit.
time that he needs to be in
That's
school. He
actually
needs to have
terrible.
some sort of semblance of normalcy,
6 to
right?
9,
Because
start going
it's
to
just.
school, that's treacherous.
But
bro.
a lot of people comment schools
Nigga,
these
that's like
days.
Probably don't even know English, bro.
If you're a grandma and you can prove they're the grandma, they're not really gonna check.
Give Tito a
Some
den
Yeah,
five
yeah,
schools,
with his
yeah,
mom.
yeah. I
Pound
don't
a
know
C4
if
and an
every school will
AR-15,
check,
I
but
guarantee you gonna
if
find that
he is
shit in a
in
week.
school, then I feel like he will be,
Yeah,
you know,
be found.
found pretty
my
quickly.
God.
They
So
can find him, bro.
if
he's not
I
dead,
feel
they
like
can
it's
find him.
more likely
How's
that
she worried about
he's
school?
being
That nigga
hidden
might be
away
dead.
Not
because
in
of it's already getting so
much
Yo.
attention.
yeah.
Like if he was in school, he'd probably be pulled out of school by now.
Or like people would have at least said, "Oh, that's my friend or my
Yes.
classmate."
Oh yes, yeah, that's true. I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. He could also be in Egypt and maybe I know it's gone viral in the English speaking world. It seems less viral in the Arabic speaking world. I think Kareem's case is viral, but perhaps maybe not her pleas to get her son back.
Wow.
I don't know. The whole thing is so heartbreaking. I do believe that her son is an American national.
No way
though.
she actually believes the grandma has
But
him. Yo,
I
Zach,
don't
you think
know.
that nigga's dead?
Some people are recommending
damn,
Lubna
bro.
go to the U.S. Embassy. I think that she has. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that she has. But just to remind you guys, so many kids go missing in America.
That's true.
You know, it's not just go to the embassy, everything's solved.
Yeah.
So if you guys see anything, hear anything, sense anything, let Lubna know. I'm going to link her GoFundMe
supposed to
as
say
well as her
sense
TikTok.
anything?
Just message her with
what,
actual
you know,
information,
Spider-Man?
I would say, and show her support in her videos. But if you're going to DM her, make sure you have some information because I think it deletes the
He was
DMs.
bullied. That nigga
But
either
yes,
dead or trafficked.
if
by
you know
now, I'm not
anything,
gonna
let her
lie. You're bugging.
know.
Oh,
And
shit, I
with
just found a
that, please
monster
stay safe,
spawner.
everyone. And
A
I will
monster
see you in the
spawner.
next one.
Nigga, are you playing Minecraft right now?
Actually, sad.
Yeah.
That was actually sad.
Iron Horse